Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel. Now, today's first video of us getting together, because it's been a couple of weeks since we got together. We're going to do something different. The guys love it when I say that. We're not going to do a video to check out or review. You may have heard us talk a lot of times when we've talked about videos about band names. And are they appropriate? Are they a good band name, etc.? And I'm going to test how good these people's band names are and how good people's knowledges are of bands. Now, Kirk, you may know some of these bands already because they're a bit obscure. Andy, I don't think you'll have a clue of who these bands are, and I definitely didn't know who these bands are. But the question is, are they dead or alive? I.e., are they death metal bands or are they some other genre? So I'm going to give you the name of a band, and you've got to tell me, are they a death metal band or aren't they? And for bonus points, if you say they're not a death metal band, if you can guess the correct genre, you'll get bonus points.
Okay.
Are we clear?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is different.
Let's see. Now, obviously, as I've pulled up the names, I can't compete on this one. So I'm going to give you the first band title. And the band name is called Soul Glow.
As in a human soul.
The soul
A
and glow,
non-corporeal soul.
like your ambient glow, the glow that you get. So Soul Glow. Are they a death metal band or aren't they?
First thing that springs to mind to me, I can't remember the film. It's one of them 80s American comedies. It's like a sort of made-up product.
Coming to America is what you're thinking there.
What, the Eddie Murphy film?
Yeah. Just soul.
It's hair product. Hair product.
Yes.
Yeah. In answer to your question, I'm going to go that they are not death metal.
No death metal. Okay. Do you have an idea of what genre they might be then? If you don't think they're death metal,
Are we genre of metal or is it any music genre?
I'm just checking through them. They are all the bands we've got today on today's list are within either a rock metal genre of some sort. So they would be within something we would cover.
Okay, I'm going not death metal, but hard rock.
Hard rock. Okay, Kurt, what do you believe?
I'm going to say yes, they are.
You think they're a death metal band?
I'm going to I'm going to be radical here because they might have a sense of humor. They might be a go grind band that have decided to take a name that honors 1980s pop culture.
Okay.
You have it. There's that.
You're going for the irony.
There's that American band VHS, and they just like go grind with loads of film samples. Really good band. So I'm going to say yes, that they are.
Okay, so it's definitely 1 point for Andy. So they are not a death metal band. Unfortunately, it's just 1 point for you, Andy, because they are an American hardcore punk band. Okay, round two. This is weird to say it this way. The band is called And Oceans.
I know this band.
So you've got an advantage.
I'll go last.
I've heard of them. It rings a bell. They're not hard. They're not death metal. I'm going to say they are doom.
Doom band. So not death metal, but doom. Go on then, Kirk. You've heard this band before.
And is correct. They're not death metal. They're a Finnish industrial black metal band. Started out as black metal, but they're a bit more industrial now.
They are indeed. You get your bonus as well. Unfortunately, you didn't. I knew that he would know it. I tried to find the most obscure bands I could.
The Scream Blast Repeat. They're on Season of Mist.
Well, how many more black metal bands I've got? I don't know if I have any more. So you might be all right, Andy. You might be in with a chance. Okay, next band up, Brutality.
I know this one.
Again, rings a bell. They're quite a new band, and they sort of quite breakthrough band.
Maybe I should have just gone for mainstream bands because Kirk doesn't seem to know them.
I'm going to say not death metal, but I'm going to say hardcore.
Hardcore, okay. Kirk?
Good attempt. They're not death metal. I interviewed the guitar player and bassist, the Malpolsky brothers. They're a thrash metal band from New York State.
He's correct.
Yeah, I've interviewed them, that's why.
I'm going to see how many you actually know of all these bands. Jesus Christ. Okay, next band up, we have Show Me the Body.
Don't know that one.
Show me the body.
I'm
I'm
going to
gonna-
go first. Yes, I
Go for-
think they're a death metal band.
Yes, I agree. I would say they are a death metal band.
Brutal death metal.
Brutal
BDM.
death metal. Okay, you're both wrong. They are an American hardcore band.
How many have we got, Dave, out of these?
It says 12. I've got 12 bands for you today,
Okay,
so we're
that's
4 in.
Okay.
Okay, the next band, Hammerbox.
Hammerbox.
That's it. Hammerbox, one word. They haven't split it up, so Hammerbox.
We haven't had any death metal yet, but I'm going to say no to them. I'm going to go hardcore again for them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Kirk?
I'm gonna go no, but I'm gonna go for traditional heavy metal.
So no, they are not a death metal band. They are a grunge band.
I remember Candlebox. That they were from Seattle, weren't they? Do you remember them in the
They were-
90s?
This is a Seattle band. I think the thing is like Man in the Box as well. If you think of Alice in
Yeah,
Chains song.
Hammer.
Okay. Next band up we have is Frail Body.
Isn't there a band
Frail
called Frail
Body.
Body Autopsy?
Foul.
Oh, that's foul. Yeah, we saw them, didn't we?
Yeah.
Wait,
You did, yeah.
Frail Body.
Do you know them, Kirk?
No, I don't. Not heard the name. I can make an educated guess though.
Go on, you go first. Then I haven't heard of them, but you go first this time.
I think this might be a trick question, so I'm going to say no. They're not a death metal band, but they are a progressive death metal band.
Right.
See if
Okay.
that hooks things up.
I'm not going to be as complicated as that and just say yes, they're death metal.
So they are not a death metal band. They are an American hardcore band again.
Oh, what an only hardcore.
Andy, right, the
band I
next
didn't know
one, we're both going to say hardcore. Should we agree on this? We might get it right.
Okay, the next band for you is called Revenge.
I know this one.
Revenge.
I am going to say no death metal. I'm going to say traditional heavy metal.
Kirk.
Andy is right. They're not a death metal band. They are a really extreme black metal band from Canada. The vocals sound like a fucking dying reindeer. They are so extreme.
And he loves it, don't you, Kirk? You love that
I
stuff.
think it got 7 out of 10. I think it was we did the top 7 most extreme albums of 2020. I think this was number 1, the last one.
Oh dear.
I don't know if I'd like it now. It's, to me, I've gone off black metal. So I don't know if I could listen to this at the moment.
Is it revenge
Black metal.
exclamation mark? Or is it just revenge?
Just Revenge.
It
So you-
sounds like a hard rock, traditional heavy metal band,
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah, that's what I went for. Yeah,
Okay,
Well,
next band up we have
that's 7 and no death metal yet. So it's got to be.
it? Next one's hardcore.
Go on.
next band Wargasm.
You must have heard of them, Kirk.
Oh, I've heard the name, but I didn't. I've never heard them.
Wargasm.
Again, rings a bell. Hardcore.
I'm going to say they are death metal.
So Andy, you're saying not death metal, you reckon they're hardcore. Kirk, you think they're death metal.
Yeah, with a sense of humor.
They're a new metal band.
Oh, man. I've heard the name, I just don't know. I've not heard the music.
Okay, next band up, Hail of Bullets. Hail
Got
of
to be a
Bullets.
hardcore band. This is the first time I'm going to go for a no, they're a hardcore band. Don't know them, but with a name like that, they need to be.
Again, I think I've heard the name, not 100%, but I'm playing the hardcore card again.
They are a death metal band.
Oh, fucking hell, what? You sound like a hardcore band.
Okay, next band up, Edge of Sanity.
Great band. I was listening to them last night as well. I've got them in my collection.
I think, Kirk, you're only winning because you listen to some of this stuff. Well, I tried to find the most obscure bands. I really could. Go on,
Andy,
then. Okay,
you'll
so
know-
Edge of Sanity, Andy.
You'll know the guitarist from this band, Andy.
Yeah, I think they're. I'm going to take a stab at. Do I get bonus points if I get this right? Scandinavian death metal.
You're in the right region, definitely.
I know where you're thinking, though, yeah.
I think this is a trick question. To me, these are one of the ultimate progressive avant-garde death metal bands. That 1996 album, Crimson, It's like a Mr. Bungle version of death metal.
They're
So I would
effectively
call
they're a
this
Swedish death metal band.
It
Yay!
started out as that, but yeah.
That's
Is it
what they
Dan
class as.
Swano?
Yes, exactly. That's why you'll know them. Yeah.
Okay, we have 2 left.
Is that right?
Yeah, Dan Swano. They did start out as a death metal band. I'd call them progressive death metal now, but hey, let's not beat ourselves up about
No, we won't.
that. Yeah.
Second to last, we have 3 Inches of Blood.
You must have heard this name, Kirk. I've heard of this name.
I'm gonna just go with my instinct on this. You first, Andy. I don't know the music.
Again, I've heard the name. I'm going to go death metal, bonus point, American.
I'm gonna go death metal, even though my instinct is telling me they're a hardcore band.
Okay, they are Canadian thrash metal. And the final band for this evening is Witchfind. Witchfind. I'm gonna let Kirk.
Obscure ones, Dave.
Witchfind.
I
Kirk
was
goes
gonna in his
first.
collection.
I think I've got 4 albums.
Okay, so the answer is I don't know. They're not a death metal band, is my guess, and I'm gonna go for blackened heavy metal or proto black metal type music.
Andy.
Go on, what are they?
UK-based new wave of British heavy metal band. Been going since the late 70s. Still currently performing various guises. Wranglings over the name. All sorts of things going on in the Witchfind camp.
Do I
Big
get that
fan.
right then? Blackened
Big fan.
heavy metal or proto?
New wave
you
of
don't have a
British
point
heavy
for
metal.
that.
Come on, fucking
No.
hell. If you like Venom,
He's
did
got
he
miles
sound
in it.
anything like Venom?
No.
No.
Right, it's just a name.
No. So, Kirk, with your extensive knowledge, you did win on the overall points on that one. Andy, you were only 2 points behind him, so that was
Really?
pretty good considering. But I think the reason I wanted to do this was actually a lot of the ones that you thought would be a death metal name for a band were not anywhere near a death metal. The more extreme ones that were the death metal ones didn't have the names, and that's been a real experience we found when we've looked at bands, we've come across them. Why do you go to those sort of bands? What makes you piques your interest about a band is sometimes the name. And if the name doesn't match the style of your music you're playing, you're not necessarily going to naturally go and find your way there. And I thought this was an educational tool for our viewers to understand about the importance of band names.
Yeah,
That wasn't
Andy,
fuck around.
just before we wrap it up, Andy, can I ask you a question? So band names are important, but clearly album artwork is as well. Can you think of a time, maybe in the 80s or early 90s, where you've been in a record shop and you've bought an album just because of the artwork? Because obviously you can't listen to it. You're just taking a wild guess that it might be something enjoyable. Can you think of an example where you've done that and loved the record as well?
Absolutely. I mean, very coincidentally, Witchfind.
Right.
Their sort of, I think it's 1980 album, Lords of Sin. The logo is sort of the Old English text with a slight sort of dripping of blood on it in red. Sort of a demonic image on the front. Sort of almost representation of Satan with some sort of chained girls up. It's a photograph, but that was definitely one that was purchased purely on the look of the album cover, some of the song titles, the logo. It did have a clue, and it wasn't quite as heavy as Iron Maiden, which is what I was sort of getting into. Is that early in my sort of metal career? But yeah, it's a really good album, and it's still one of my favourites. Yeah, so that you do hit the jackpot sometimes. Another one a little bit further on in time, Theatre of Tragedy's album, Velvet Darkness They Fear. Again, it's the use of Old English in the song titles, the font of their logo, just the look of the CD. It sounded to me as if it's going to be sort of gothic doom, and again, I was fortunately correct on that. And again, another one of my favourite albums of all time. So there's 2 examples.
And the name you also want a good name though, don't you? With
Yeah.
That artwork. That Witchfind, if their name was Starving Monk or something like that, you'd be like, what the fuck's this?
Yeah.
I don't know where those 2 words came from, but
yeah,
I think it's really important because I remember when I was 15, 16, give or take, and you didn't have really internet. You didn't have Top of the Pops. Well, Top of the Pops was the only thing that was playing music really on TV. Maybe the old Grey Whistle Test or something like that might have been playing stuff as well. But any of the hard rock stuff, you didn't know about it. So there was a place called it's the equivalent of what Cash Converters is now, but it was like the CD tape and record exchange shops in Notting Hill at the time. And I used to just go in there and I'd just go through the cards under the rock metal section, and it wasn't even split into subgenres. It was just metal. You used to just go through it, and I used to flip through like CDs, and I'd always have like about £1 or £2, and I'd be like, and it'd have the price of like, no, too expensive. What's that one? And you look at the cover and go, fuck it, I'll take a punt, because you couldn't actually take it anywhere and listen to it beforehand. So you just kind of was like, that looks kind of cool, I'll buy that one. And I got into so many of the bands when I was 15 and 16 from those experiences. It was effectively like some random playlist way of doing it, of actually buying CDs back then. It was great. You then got home and listened to it. It was just like, sometimes I put one album on, like, there was one by a band called Noom, Noom, which is completely like progressive jazz fusion, but the cover was like this grey, dark, doom, macabre looking thing. And I'm like, Noom, and it's grey and it's freaking epic. I'm like, yeah. And it's like on the mountains. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Craziest fucking album I've ever listened to. But that's one of those surprises when you put it in the player.
Yeah, bringing it up to date. When I sort of delve into our A.D.K email inbox, we get the occasional sort of big name in there that we've, fortunately able to sort of review early Paradise Lost sort of recently. But I'm looking for a name that jumps out at me to sort of just have a listen to if we haven't been particularly arranged to sort of review a particular album. I'm looking for the names of the bands, and very few jump out at me at the moment, I'm afraid. But there's probably loads of stuff, probably loads of really good albums that I've missed out on purely because the name of the band hasn't grabbed me when I've just been browsing through the emails.
Well, I've got the albums that are out tomorrow. What names have we got?
Should we wrap up this episode and then talk about it between the actual
sorry, I never got. You're right. So none of these names stand out, do they? But that's why I list the genres next to them.
Yeah. And that is a problem. But anyway, if you liked this video, we should do that before we go and talk about other jobs. But if you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on another video sometime very soon.